I think I can speak for every single Blue Jays fan when I say I miss the Oakland Athletics. Obviously, the Blue Jays swept the Oakland A's in the season series, sweeping them in Oakland and then sweeping them at home just this past weekend. And the Blue Jays head out west to take on the L.A. Angels and lose Game 1, 4-3 in L.A., and look, the offense wasn't really there. You didn't get a whole lot of the offense. Yeah, you got 3 runs scattered over the 9 innings of work, but it all happened in the 4th and the 5th inning, and you only had 5 hits in the ball game. It really just wasn't a whole lot. Look, Clay Buchholz was good. They obviously had a big home run by I think it was Goodwin. Yeah, Brian Goodwin there in the bottom of the 8th inning off Ryan Tepera to give them the lead there in the 8th. And we talk about it, the late game home runs. Look, the Blue Jays are one of the best teams in the league when it comes to scoring in the 7th inning or later. It was the weird thing because that was the stat last year the Blue Jays were so good at. And they continue to be so good, but the problem was today you just did not get that. And the Blue Jays actually had the 1-0 lead because in the top of the 4th inning, and Clay Buchholz, so we've seen this kind of from Clay Buchholz that he has really good start to ball games, and then he kind of trails off near the end of his outing. You saw it in the last game where he put up 3 great innings and then kind of fell off right at the end. You saw that again today. You know, we go to the top of the 4th inning, the Blue Jays get some runners on here. Sogard grounds out to start the inning, and then Galvis singles to center. Grichuk singles to left field. Smokey walks. We got the bases juiced and only 1 away here. Great stuff's about to happen. And then Canning throws a wild pitch. Freddie Galvis comes in to score, and the Blue Jays got a 1-0 lead. And you guys at 2nd and 3rd with still only 1 out. But then Guerrero grounds it to the shortstop, and then Tellez strikes out. No more runs cross the plate. And again, runners in scoring position, less than 2 out, and you can't get it done. Like, I'm not saying it's a big problem, but those are runs left on the board. However, at the time, we were still thinking to ourselves, well, you get the lead now, so that's okay. But as we have talked about over and over again, when your team puts up runs or a run, as a pitcher, you want to throw up a 0 the very next inning. Clay Buchholz did not do that. He gives him an RBI single to Tony LaStella. Anderson Simmons comes in to score. Then Jonathan Lucroy at the 2-run shot. And just like that, your 1-0 lead turns into a 3-1 deficit there in the bottom of the 4th inning. But then we go to the top of the 5th inning, and as they're probably saying the same thing I just said, well, we just put up 3 runs. We got a 3-1 lead now. Let's put up a 0 and get right back on the bats again. Well, Brandon Drury, this guy is as hot as anything for the Blue Jays, and he's not facing Oakland, so let's just keep that in mind there. He gets a 1-0 pitch, and it's a fastball. It's kind of like up and away. It's not a great pitch to hit, but he crushes it deep to right center field, and it's gone, and the Blue Jays, just like that, make it a 3-2 ball game. We're right back in it again. And the Blue Jays are obviously pounding on this pitcher right now because it seems to be that when the offense has a long inning and the pitchers sit for a little while, they come out rusty. You saw with Buchholz in the bottom of the 4th. They have a long inning in the bottom of the 4th. The Jays score a couple runs here in the bottom of in the top of the 5th inning. As a couple of batters later, right, you see Teoscar Hernandez right after the Drury home run. He doubles to left field. Then Luke Manley lines out to Cole Calhoun in right field. Teoscar Hernandez moves up to third base on the play. You got a runner at third, less than 2 out. What are you gonna get here? And Billy McKitty grounds out to Andrelton Simmons. Hernandez comes in to score. Some small ball baseball from the Toronto Blue Jays. And we got a tie game. It's 3-3. Beautiful. Whole new ball game. All within an inning and a half. Crazy. However, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Blue Jays, look. You put up a 0 after that. And I think after that, it's a 3-3 ball game. You tie it up. You put a 0. Bang. You're right back on the bats. We think that's the mentality. The Blue Jays really don't get a whole lot going, though, after that. I mean, look, you heard all the hits I was talking about, right? I think they had, like, 2 in the 4th inning. They had, like, 2 or 3 more there in the 5th inning. How many hits did they have? 5 in the ball game. That was all of their offense in that 4th inning and that 5th inning. Really, they might have scattered 1 hit the rest of the ball game, from the 1st to the 4th and from the 5th to the 9th. It really didn't get a whole lot going. And the Blue Jays did have a lead. After the Goodwin home run, we go to the top of the 9th. Blue Jays get the lead runner on base, and we're thinking, oh boy, here we go. All right, let's get right back in this game. The Jays team going to crawl back in it. Rowdy Tellez into the shift. He hits it up the middle, right where the shortstop's playing, touches the bag, on to first, double play, and it really ends the ball game. Brandon Drury doesn't get a good strike call there in that last at bat, and then he strikes out looking at a 98-mile-an-hour heater right down the middle. But at that point, I mean, he was all thinking about the strike before, and that was about that. I miss Oakland. I miss facing Oakland. It was a lot more fun. But, guys, it happens, you know. I mean, the Jays are not going to win every single game, obviously. They are now 14-15 on the year. And, look, offensively, we talked about it. They didn't really get a whole lot going. You saw Freddie Galvis go 1 for 4 in the game. Randall Grichuk went 2 for 4. He's now getting up to that 250 mark. He's feeling a lot better now as he's playing better. No hits for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., so his hit streak to start his career is done. And the win streak for the Blue Jays to start his young career is done as well. He goes 0 for 2 in the ball game. He strikes out once, but he also walks twice. We've learned this now with Vladdy. He's a selective hitter. He's gonna take his walks. He'll get there as a hitter, though, guys. I mean, I think that's the big thing when it comes to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Is, look, we all expected him to come up here and hit 300, 400. I mean, it's easier said than done. Yes, he's done it in the minor leagues, but that's the minor leagues. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all attest to it when I say, and if you guys watch the Blue Jays on a consistent basis, you will know that when the Blue Jays face a pitcher they have rarely ever seen, if nobody's ever seen them, because the Blue Jays have a lot of younger guys, and if this guy just came out from AAA, Vladdy might have faced him a couple times in AAA or whatnot, but at the big league level, if your roster has not seen this guy, and that was the case with the starter today, Griffin Canning. Excuse me, guys. The Jays don't usually do too well against guys in their major league debuts or guys against guys you've never seen before. It usually never goes well for this Blue Jays team, and it wasn't for the most part until they got those few runs there in the 4th and the 5th inning, and their bullpen got it done. Cam Bedrosian went an inning and 2/3, a great job. He did a great job. Justin Anderson had through a clean inning. Ty Buttrey, guys went a clean inning there, and then obviously their closer Hansel Robles. He got the save in the ball game. Look, their bullpen was shut down. You know, they went 4 and 2/3 of 1-hit ball. Whereas the Toronto Blue Jays, look, they weren't that bad, but Ryan Tepera gave up the home run to Goodwin there in the 8th inning to give them the lead. And it sucks. How was Clay Buchholz, who had 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, walked a couple batters in the ball game. Again, kind of the same as Griffin Canning, right? I mean, yes, I understand he only went 4 and 1/3 or 4 and 2/3. Did Griffin Canning, but the first 3 innings for both pitchers were lights out, and then the wheels fell off for both guys in the middle innings. It happens, Jays fans. It really does. But all we can do is look forward to the next one, because that's the great thing about baseball, is you have to have a very short memory. And they play tomorrow night as well. 10:07 first pitch there in L.A. Marcus Stroman on the mound for the Blue Jays. And if you guys got that update today, hearing that the Jays are still looking to shop Stroman, Sanchez, and Justin Smoke, the way Sanchez and Stroman are pitching right now, I understand they're playing well and they're kind of at their peak when it comes to value. I kind of like them. I don't know if I want the move too much, but whether that's true or not, I'm not too sure. But we're going to have to wait and see how all that plays out. And Marcus Stroman on the mound tomorrow against Felix Pena for the Los Angeles Angels, like I said, 10:07 first pitch there in L.A. as the Jays look to even up the series at 1 game apiece. Let's see if we can get those bats going. I think that's the key for this Blue Jays, right? We've learned, especially against Oakland, when the bats get going, the pitching is good enough. The pitching can win you some games. Right? Trent Thorne was not the greatest, but he got the job done. And the offense really helped him out. Today, other than those middle frame innings of the 4th and the 5th inning where you got a couple runs, you gave the runs right back almost, for the most part, right? I mean, and a missed pitch to Goodwin, he hits it out of the ballpark. It happens, people, right? But tomorrow, they look to get the offense rolling, and they look to get back to 500. They look to get back to 500 at 15-15. As of right now, 14-15 are the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, like I said, 10:07 first pitch there in LA. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys didn't enjoy the ending to this ball game. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your guys' thoughts on the game, the video. What'd you like about the game? What'd you not like about the game? What are your early thoughts on Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? What were your thoughts on Clay Buchholz's outing? Also, you know, your thoughts on the Blue Jays bats today. You think they were chasing too much? Did you think they were being way too selective up there? Because that does happen with this team quite often. And but we're gonna have to wait. You know, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this game and the way this Blue Jays team performed there tonight. And if you guys are still awake, tip of the cap to you. I had a little bit of a nap, so I'm golden now. But it's been a long night, people, and get ready to do it again tomorrow night. Like I said, 10:07 first pitch there in LA. All right, so guys, Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition on Thursday afternoon. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and check out my main man, Mo Buckets, on Twitter. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. The best, or one of the best, but the most followed Blue Jays fan pages on Instagram. Great quality content right after the stuff is happening. Probably when the whole Stroman-Sanchez Smokey thing was reported, he was right on it and posted something right away. Got to keep it on time. He is fantastic at it. Go check him out again. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. All right, guys. So, like I said, guys, Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I'll talk to you guys. Raptors edition, Game 3 of their Round 2 match of the Eastern Conference semifinal matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers there on Thursday night, 8 p.m. tip-off in Philly. The Raptors look to get back into the win column and get back into the groove of the series and take a 2-1 series lead and make their shots, period. All right, and that's for the Blue Jays. They play Game 2 of the 3-game set against the L.A. Angels there tomorrow night. Marcus Stroman, Felix Pena are the starters in tomorrow night's game. 10:07 first pitch there in L.A. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys then.